The following is a presentation of the Spartan Media Network.
Welcome to the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense on the Spartan Media Network.
Throws the home run ball deep. Nick Marsh at the 10-yard line of Maryland. Angles to the right pylon. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, MSU. Childs takes a shotgun snap. He'll keep it. He has daylight. He's inside the 5. On his feet into the end zone. Touchdown, MSU. Here we go. Back comes a little bit of a high snap. The kick is up. And it's good. Spartans win.
The Jonathan Smith Show is also brought to you by MSU FCU. Spartan fans, dream big with MSU Federal Credit Union. Meyer, supporting hundreds of sports teams across the Midwest. Coors Light, choose chill. Dean Trailways, the official ground transportation provider of Spartans athletics. And Michigan's premier motor coach company. Make Dean Trailways your favorite ride. One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. And Alumni Hall, your ultimate Spartan shopping experience. Now, let's join our hosts, Otis Wiley and the voice of Spartan football, George Blaha.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Coach Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance, along with Otis. I am GB, and we are live at One North Kitchen and Bar in East Lansing. If you want to join our audience for any of the MSU Coaches shows, make your reservation by emailing coachesshows@onenorthdining.com. And, Coach, you've played hard and played well and lost a lot of tough ball games, but I said during the game against Penn State, I was very proud of the way the Spartans played. They're still playing for each other, for their school, and it's a compliment to you and your staff.
Yeah, I think they are playing hard, and this thing means something. And in that game in particular, especially on the defensive side, you think how long those guys played and how well they played to keep us within that one score, things 14-10 for a long period of time. And yeah, it's not easy to keep playing like that when you're not getting the results you want, with some losses and things like that. But the group has continued to play for each other. We want to continue, play hard. We want to play a little bit better to get over this hump, but it's not easy, right, to stay motivated like that when you're haven't gotten the result you wanted. But that's why I credit this group and the respect, especially for the leadership on the team.
It would be easy not to play hard, but as a captain, Otis, the guys got to band together and stick with the coaching staff.
Yeah, absolutely. You have your young players who you want to send out, the seniors. It was senior day too, and you want to send them out the right way, and so. There's a little bit of disappointment because you don't want to have that loss in Spartan State, your last game in Spartan Stadium. But, they also take into consideration that we did play with a band of brothers. Like, you played every chance you could with the heart, with the effort, and didn't come up with the outcome. But there's also we call it victory and defeat, right? We're learning the victories, how we can obviously turn those defeats into victories.
You got another chance for a home state finish anyway down in Detroit in a couple of weeks at Ford Field against Maryland. But first things first, you got the Iowa Hawkeyes on Saturday, and it's not Spartan Stadium, but that's a great place to play, Kinnick Stadium, and so is Ford Field. So there'll be two great venues for the last two games of the season.
And we talked about that kind of in the bye week, right? When you're in the bye, you kind of set the stage for the final stretch of the season. We had 3 games at the time, and so talking about each individual game and some of the uniqueness and the opportunity to one on Iowa's end could go on the road. Kind of a great atmosphere to play in. You talk about the waving to the hospital after the first quarter. Those fans are going to be on top of you, similar to Spartan Stadium in regards to the how close they are on the sidelines and that kind of thing. And then, obviously finish in NFL Stadium at Ford Field for the last one.
You guys certainly haven't quit, and I know Iowa has no sympathy for you. Yeah. They have 4 losses by a total of 15 points, all against ranked teams, and they've had the lead in most of those games. Yeah. So either they're going to be deflated, which I doubt, or angry, which I suspect.
Well, I think it speaks to a few things. I think you look at Iowa in general, and then they can play at a high level. They got all 3 phases and how competitive they play with, no question. I think it also speaks to how competitive this league is, week in and week out. I mean, this is either good teams you're playing in hostile environments, and they've got good coaching, good players, good schematics, week in and week out. And so that's why how you look at Iowa and how competitive they've been in games. We were saying the same thing about Penn State last week. Sure. Yeah, they had come up short a few times, but 5 of the 6 were 1-score games.
Yeah, let's not forget, there's a deep respect for Iowa and Michigan State. It's a rivalry, even though it's not nationally, but this is a pound, green pound / hit you in the mouth type game. And I remember playing against Iowa, and it's like I had to beef up because those linemen are dirty and they're gritty, right? And so, and they also know they're not overlooking us either. They know we still have things to accomplish, and they have things that they're playing for their season. But us coming in there, we're going to give us all your got.
We did. We looked at the last couple of times. Michigan State, Iowa, going past even last year at our place, and we played really well and found a way to win. Even the previous year at their spot, that game, how highly competitive that was. That came down to the last 3-4 minutes, and so these games have been back and forth, and both teams battling each other.
51st meeting between the Spartans and the Hawkeyes. Iowa owns a slim lead, 25-23-2 in the series, but the Spartans did beat Iowa and East Lansing, as you guys said, last year, 32-20. Nice to have Jonathan Kim back, wouldn't it?
He had a great night. Yeah,
he had 6 field goals, but you have a kicker, and I thought your defense, showed up, and there was a reason that you guys were in the game that late, because you were very physical.
Yeah, they did a good job tackling throughout the night. You look at the 4th down stops, they created some momentum of, obviously keeping points off the board. They did that for a good amount of the game to keep, like we mentioned, keep us around it. I think defensively as a group now, all 11 guys, because that's not just one guy having all the tackles, all 11 guys playing pretty good team defense.
So we're here live from One North Kitchen and Bar in East Lansing for all the Spartan Coaches radio shows. One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. This is the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance, right here on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least consulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you.
Spartans, when it's game time, it's One North time. Just minutes from Michigan State University, One North Kitchen and Bar is your go-to spot for scratch cooking and world-class hospitality. When you're celebrating a win or catching up with friends, we've got the perfect dish to make every moment special. Join us for the MSU Coaches Show and get closer to the action with the voices that bring Spartan spirit to life. Visit One North Kitchen and Bar, where Spartan pride meets memorable meals.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Welcome back to the Coach Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Hey, Spartan fans, carry the only colors in your wallet with an MSU FCU Visa credit card featuring the iconic Spartan helmet. Earn cash back on every purchase and show your pride with every swipe. Visit msufcu.org today. MSU Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of Spartan Athletics. Let's talk about that defense that did such a good job against Penn State. They held Penn State to 2 of 10 on third downs, 2 for 4 on fourth downs. They played well overall, tended to wear down. Yeah, you play a 60-minute game, and if your offense doesn't have a great day, it puts maybe just a little bit too much pressure on the defense, and that might have been the case.
Yeah, and it really did look at it was a late fourth quarter. They put a long drive together where it wasn't a lot of like 25-yard gains or anything, but they kind of just chipped away to be able to, the clock to run. That was the one drive that, felt like maybe a little bit of worn down. But throughout the night, like you mentioned, some of those stats with third down play, you think about the 2 fourth down stops, change of momentum, that, was really good. I think about some of the individual players, Wayne Matthews, Jordan Hall, both those guys tackling and going. Malcolm Bell had tackles, Alex Van Summer, and again, making it physical in the interior. And so, the one we gave up one big pass play the entire night, and that was a little bit of miscommunication, recognition, and again, playing good defenses, you don't allow for those, but you take out that one play, statistically, yardage, it was a pretty good night. That was a very good night, and that almost, with the great athletes there are in this game today, you get beat once deep in a ball game. That's way above average. Yeah, so especially consider, say, those two backs. They got two backs that could really run the scheme. They were, having to adjust. They did what we thought in regards to some of their funky formations and things in the run game. Tackling those two backs throughout the night, our defense was holding up pretty good. You had a couple of sacks and 5 tackles for loss, and it seemed like there's a term called they sold out, man. They gave it everything they had, and when you walk off the field, Otis, after a game like that, I know it hurts, but you gave it your all, don't you?
Yeah, no regrets. I saw obviously in the game, Penn State was kind of taking advantage of our outside linebacker being too far in, obviously on the DN, and doing that quick toss pitch. Get it outside. Yeah, get outside. Yeah. And so, what were you seeing from a communication standpoint on maybe our secondary having to step up and close that gap outside the 8 gap.
Yeah, when anything that goes outside, right? Oftentimes the secondary players are the outside edge of the defense, and so interior run begin to squeeze right from our edge players inside backers, things like that, and then quick toss on the edge, count on the secondary to be able to tackle out in space and do some of that. That's some of the, like Malcolm Bell, he's our starting corner, played a little bit of nickel, but getting about 8 tackles through the night because of some of that scheme.
Yeah. Also in that coverage, we talk about there's no such thing as a coverage bust. It's a miscommunication.
Yeah.
And I saw Malik Spencer bite on the dig, the guy coming across versus his deep route. Was that, for me being a DB, I'm asking because I was curious, but more so, was that him obviously turning to run to go to deep to help Amarion Smith.
Yeah, a few of these things go together. One, you start with the action pass, right? So it looked like run initially, so that's going to slow down a little back coverage. Are they, eyes in the backfield? Obviously, we got responsibilities going vertically down the field. And yes, should we carry that route? We should. At the same time, you can have this. We use this term eraser, right? It's not always going to be perfect out there. Well, for the quarterback, then he still's got to have enough time to make that throw. We gave him too much time. We got to get home in some pass rush. Action pass to start. Well, it looks like run. Once it transitions to pass, we got to get to the quarterback, make that throw harder just by someone's laying in his lap. And so all those things could have helped not give up the big play.
The DBs help the pass rush, and the pass rush helps the DB.
It goes together.
It's a perfect
marriage.
marriage.
Totally does. Yep.
Well, speaking of defensive guys, you have to take your hat off to Jordan Hall. Right now, he has 74 tackles. That's just out of the top 10 in the Big Ten. Iowa doesn't have anybody with that many tackles, and they play great defense. So he has been a warrior, hasn't he?
He really has, and it's not well documented, and we're not trying to give our opponents information. I mean, this guy, physically, he's mid-season healthy at best, but you see him arrive on Saturdays and pushing through and continue to be so productive for this team, and that's why I think he continued the play it does on Saturdays, but our team sees the work he's doing through the week to get himself to being able to play on Saturdays. He's got a ton of respect from his teammates.
Yeah, and Jordan Hall, I mean, positivity, like probably the most positive guy I've obviously met or encountered at that age, where you'll ask him about some things like it may be a negative question, but it's always in turn turned with a positive response. How is he maintaining that? Because like you said, he is fully going out like limping, working, doing what he needs to do to hold the defense together. But you don't hear any complaints from him.
No, that's why I go back to some of this leadership on this team, and he's probably the best example we have. Of, disappointment, scoreboards when where it's at. Given they're all playing with great effort, this means something to him. Think about Jordan too as a mentor to some of the younger players that are coming along. He's done a great job with that. So not just his production and how many tackles he's had, but the way he leads day in and day out around our place.
I'll tell you, walking in here today and knowing we're going to see these familiar faces, these supportive fans, makes me realize how great it is to be involved with Michigan State football, this great university, awesome college town, and better days are just around the corner. Might even be this weekend. Let's hope so in Iowa City. We'll be back with the Coach Jonathan Smith Show presented by Auto Owners Insurance in just a moment.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
The donation location and put Michigan State in the lead.
The Jonathan Smith Radio Show, bringing you insight and laughs each week with J.U. Colcrick and Coach Jonathan Smith.
Game one, we had some stuff where he's changing at the line of scrimmage. That has grown as the season's gone on, whether we're talking protection, we're talking a route, we're going from a run play to a pass play, we're going from one run play to another run play. That menu for him has grown as we've gone.
Tune in to the Jonathan Smith Radio Show throughout the season on the Spartan Media Network.
Touchdown! From the biggest of the big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go. Go!
Run, James!
No. First base!
Go, go, go! Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
Sometimes we're asked if you need to be a Spartan to be a member of Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. The answer is no. To be an MSU FCU member, you just need 3 things. 1, you love saving money and earning cash back. 2, you have a passion for supporting your community, just like we do. 3, when it comes to your future, you prefer to dream big. If this sounds like you, visit msufcu.org to get started. Of course, if you want to cheer on MSU, we're totally on board with that too. Go green.
We are back live on the Jonathan Smith Show presented by Auto Owners Insurance. This season, One North Kitchen and Bar is your game day location for away game watch parties. Could be this Saturday. Join us to watch Spartan football, then listen live to the game day radio hosts as they break down the game. Now, without further ado, let's check out our Spartan Player of the Week with Dalton Shuttler.
Tonight's Michigan State Player of the Week is number 4, Elijah Tolliver. The redshirt senior running back from Sparks, Nevada, led the Spartans with 8 receptions for 73 yards, alongside his 6 carries for 79 yards, including this 57-yard touchdown run.
As Elijah Tolliver, the senior, on senior day, off to his left, hands to him, breaks through a big hole at right tackle. Heading down the right side, and it's a 20, it's a 15, it's a 10, to the right pylon, into the end zone. Touchdown, MSU on play number 1.
In the last 2 games, Elijah has ran the ball 17 times for 206 yards, averaging more than 12 yards a carry. Folks, give it up. Your Michigan State Player of the Week, Elijah Tolliver.
Coach Smith, that shows that persistence pays off.
Yeah.
You know, he's in an unfamiliar territory here after having played at Sac State for 4 seasons. Had to get himself accustomed to everything that was going on here with his team. And at this time of the year, he's playing great. It's too bad he doesn't have 5 more games.
Yeah, totally. You know, more time with him. You're right, because he did transferred over. This was a new scheme on him. He wasn't running this at his previous place. And so there's familiarity, comfort with the tracks we're asking him to do, and playing under the center some, and protection, and how we teach protection, because the backs are a part of that. He just kept on working, and he did. Early in the season wasn't playing a ton, contributing on special teams, still is, but kept on working, and now he's playing his best football at the end of the year.
Second on the team in rushing, averaging 6.9 a carry, a couple of touchdowns. We heard one of them. He's 5th on the team with 15 catches. For 121 yards, and he had that 85-yard rush in the 4th quarter at Minnesota. So he has breakaway talent, and there's still 2 games he could break away in.
No question. He does. He have that top end speed. The last 2 weeks, he's had huge runs. We just listened to the start of the game. He didn't get caught. That was well blocked and all of that, but he did not get caught once he broke away. Same thing happened in Minnesota. You look at the production. He's catching the ball out of the backfield. He had a huge play just on the Alessio extends the play, right? Scramble. He finds Elijah down, gets us into the red zone. So he's become a really good player, and counting on him in a big way these next 2 weeks.
Yeah, George, I think everyone in this room can be a witness that if you're a player guest, your
right.
next game is going to be breakout. But
interesting, isn't it?
Right,
he was sitting in the seat.
He's sitting in the seat last week, right? But I think you go another level when you have your family fully here. This is your last time playing for the Green and White in Spartan Stadium. I truly believe that Elijah is a guy who, when it clicks, and it finally clicked, and now it's like he's at another level where I honestly, I'm just going to say I couldn't make the game because I was sick, which is the first time I haven't physically been at the game. I'm watching it, though, and I just see him, the gears going, like, I can't get caught like Minnesota. I can't get caught like Minnesota. So that was a great first touch to the end zone, which, was a great game.
Well, Iowa's got to be very aware of him now. He's probably moved up near the top of their scouting report, and those things happen, and he should be proud of that.
Yeah, after the last 2 weeks of him carrying it, I was taking notice of it and watching it and preparing for it.
Elijah Tolliver, our Player of the Week. Thanks to Dalton Shuttler for the rundown. We'll be back with more of the Jonathan Smith Show in just a moment. Presented by the Auto Owners Insurance Company on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
You didn't do this, did you, boss?
Mind your business, Billy.
Touchdown!
From the biggest of the big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go. Go.
Run, James!
No. First base.
Go, go, go! Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
Hey, Spartan fans! It's college football season, and SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Hail Marys and walk-on heroes. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be part of all the action this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to MSU football games or to any other live event in East Lansing, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of MSU football. Let's go Spartans! SeatGeek.
Labatt and Game Day, the perfect combo for football, friends, and a little friendly fire.
Nice jersey. Guess they were out of adult sizes.
Labatt is the beer that's there for every good-natured jab, every ridiculous comeback, because with friends, roasting each other is just another way to say,
"You're an idiot, but I love you."
Labatt, brewed for the roast. Always enjoy responsibly.
Thank you, fans, for joining us for the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Now time for our Alumni Hall Trivia. The day's winner gets tickets to the next home game and a $25 gift card to Alumni Hall. I would think you'd get tickets to the game against Maryland at Ford Field down in Detroit. That's going to be a fun evening as the Spartans wrap up the regular season. We want to thank everybody for participating in the Alumni Hall Trivia throughout the season. Alumni Hall is your ultimate Spartans shopping experience. So here's the question. The record for most field goals by a Spartan kicker was set against the Iowa Hawkeyes. Which MSU kicker hit 6 field goals against Iowa in a single game? We got a young man running to the microphone.
Oh, man.
I think he may get this one. He may get this one right. What do you
think? Redemption. JU's watching. He's listening.
Jonathan Kim.
You nailed it.
Hey,
wait.
Oh, you gotta come back. You
got to give you some publicity.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Lucas.
Where are you from, Lucas?
Lansing.
There he goes.
It was Jonathan Kim, and he made 6 last year against Iowa. Spartans won 32-20. He was number 97, transferred to Michigan State from North Carolina. I'm sure he's glad that he did. Michigan State beat the Hawkeyes last year, 32-20. They were a good team last year, good team this year.
Yeah.
Let's get back to that. Everybody's got a chance. As hard as you guys have played, I'm sure they're
no doubt.
aware that they got a dangerous opponent coming to Iowa City.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think about how big those kicks were. Jonathan last year, 6 of them, and not all of them are real short now. He made a couple long ones, momentum and those things, and that can happen each and every time you line up. So that's what we're counting on. Again, this Saturday, different guys can step up. You don't exactly know who you're going to need and whatnot, but it happens every Saturday where you go on the road and play a really good team and win a game.
Got another hero to talk about. Earlier today, the Big Ten Conference announced this year's recipients for the Jackie Robinson Community and Impact Award. Now in its second year, the honor was created to recognize the Big Ten student athletes who strive to have a positive impact within their community, in addition to excellence in competition. For the second year in a row, Motor City's own Jalen Thompson has been named the male recipient of the award for Michigan State, leads the team with 6.5 tackles for loss, career-high 27 tackles. He was named a game captain for the Penn State game. In the classroom, he's a 2-time academic All-Big Ten pick and was named a Big Ten Distinguished Scholar in 24-25. And he has also hosted his second annual youth camp in Detroit this past summer that supports anti-gun violence initiatives. Congrats to Jalen Thompson. Let's hear it for him.
Yeah.
Michigan State's winner of the Jackie Robinson Community Impact Award. And, Coach, I know you're happy to have him on your squad.
Well, without question. And it's easy to talk about him, specifically kind of to the field and how productive and impactful he has been. But, you know, representing our place, Big Ten Distinguished Scholar, he's taken school seriously. He's really proud of the way he operates and what he's been able to accomplish on that side. And then you do those things, play big-time football, chasing down your degree, what kind of impact he can make back home. And he's done that the last couple of summers running the camp because he's well-known, and he should be, for all that he has done, and not just for himself, for Michigan State. And he's a great example for the younger ones back home in Detroit.
And he never wavered once he committed to the Spartans.
Yeah,
He wanted to
I was
be
gonna
here.
ask, Coach. Yeah. When you got here, Coach, you had to obviously evaluate players. Jalen Thompson being one of those guys that was here. What was the first kind of eye test in obviously getting a breakdown with him?
Yeah, the eye test. He's like,
size,
looks
right?
smart,
It's
yeah,
like-
and all of that. And then you watch him. He was younger, a little bit on tape and things. But the more you're around him, you recognize how much of a man of substance this guy is. Besides looking the part, and he's got great athleticism and football, all of this. But then what he does beyond football, the classroom we talked about. He was a great. It's been great be able to keep him around and be a part of us.
How has he helped you though, Coach? Like in Detroit too, because like that's a big market for us. But him being on the field, representing home state, hometown kid, how has it helped the kind of recruiting in that
Yeah, it definitely helps a ton because you're able to bring his name up to anybody you recruit in that area, and they know exactly who you're talking about, and they see him continue to flourish on and off the field, and you tell the story to the recruit the same way. Like, you can be the next. Comes from a big-time high school out that way, but beyond just his own high school, there's so much good talent and players out there that we want to be able to tap into, and then Jalen's a big part of doing that.
And the story, too, when you recruit somebody from Detroit, and you're talking about Jalen Thompson, you're talking about, as you said, a man of substance, but someone who has done great things here, not just on the football field, but in the classroom. And you too, young man, can be like Jalen Thompson. You can survive here academically and even thrive in the classroom and on the football field. That's a great story to tell somebody.
Yep, and that's a lot about recruiting, is be able to, for the recruit to visualize what they can go and accomplish, and then be able to point out to Jalen as the example.
Well, Spartan football fans, we hope to see you also at Ford Field on November 29th. The Spartans take on Maryland. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com or visit MSUSpartans.com for more info. Go Green. The Spartan Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. We'll have more after we take this break on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least consulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
If auto owners make sense for you.
There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. It starts with our team and people like you. University of Michigan Health Sparrow is hiring for a wide variety of roles at all experience levels. Unlock your potential and discover a fulfilling career at one of our award-winning hospitals and health centers. We make a difference every day, together. Join us at careers.ufmhealthsparrow.org.
Hey, Michigan State Spartans, ready to one-up your rivals off the field? Abbott and the Big Ten are back with the We Give Blood Drive. By showing up to donate blood, you can help your school win $1 million for student or community health, score a limited edition home field designed Michigan State Spartans t-shirt, and most importantly, save lives. Go to bigten.org/Abbott to find a donation location and put Michigan State in the lead.
Spartan fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes these moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is the official beer of Michigan State Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer.
Welcome back to the Jonathan Smith Radio Show from East Lansing. And our player guest tonight, getting a round of applause already from our crowd, is senior cornerback Malcolm Bell. He's from Montreal. He transferred to Michigan State in January of 25 after playing 4 seasons at UConn from 21 through 24, and I believe already graduating from college. He has started 9 games at corner for the Spartans. He's 5th on the team with 37 tackles, leads the team, and ranks among the Big Ten leaders with 5 pass breakups. Welcome, Malcolm Bell.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Great to have you here, Malcolm. We appreciate you joining us and being from Montreal. how did your football journey begin? I know Canadian Football League is good, solid football, so it's not like people are not into football in Montreal. But how did the path take you to college football and to Michigan State?
I mean, I started playing grade 7 because that's what they usually do, the introduction to play football. So from there all the way to senior year of high school, I played there. Then I went to Toronto to a prep school. And then from Toronto, I went to UConn, and then I got here.
So the UConn guys were all over you recruiting. Anybody else that you came close to going to play for early on?
I mean, originally, I had more offer, but I was class of 2021, and COVID year happened in 2020, so I lost also my offers. I mean, actually, I lost all of my offers, and then UConn had canceled their season in 2020, so they lost a lot of players, which opened up scholarship, and they offered me during that summer of 2020, and I committed there.
Good move on their part.
Yeah.
Yeah, Malcolm, you're coming from a basketball, country. Like obviously, Canada's producing a lot of pros in the hoop. Did you play basketball?
No,
you
I
did?
play soccer.
You soccer?
Soccer
Which is better, right?
Yeah,
better.
It is.
Definitely.
That's good. See, we didn't have to fight.
Absolutely, footwork, man, hand-eye. That's what you need.
for 'em.
Yeah, absolutely. How would you? What brought you to Michigan State? Because clearly, did you cross over with Nathan Carter in UConn?
Yes, we was there at the same time.
Same time. Okay.
From seeing Nathan Carter, what he did here, and you know what I'm saying, everything. He's the first guy that I texted when they was talking to me, and everything that he said about Michigan State, like the stuff that you want to hear, you know, when you want to join the team, the competition, the fan, the support, the stadium, and just everything. Like the culture here is pretty big. Like everything you go around, you always see the green. You drive around, you see the green and white. So coming here, like you said, I came from a basketball country and everything like that. Seeing the culture of football, like even at UConn, like it's a good football team and everything, but we didn't have the same culture because we're still learning. Like it's still a culture that's growing up, but here, like it's established, and seeing the culture and everything, like it really make you want to play here.
Yeah,
and rep the green and white. So after doing the visit, I mean, I didn't have to do I didn't even do another visit. I just came to Michigan State, did the visit, and we committed right there. We didn't have to see nothing else.
Let's talk about that. So your visit, like when you got here, like kind of paint the picture for everyone. When you got here, how did Coach Smith and his team roll out the red carpet? The green carpet. I'll say the green carpet.
They get you from the airport, bring you, and then show you all the great stuff. You know, you don't really meet the staff. Like the first thing that you meet is the staff, and I think that's the most important stuff. You got to know who you're gonna work with. So seeing who's gonna be my coaches, I think that was the main stuff and the most important stuff. Like you can see the stadium and the town and everything, but at the end of the day, it's about who coaches you. Absolutely. You know, like the culture too, but like you go in there to play football, to play at a high level. So if you don't have high level coaches, you can't really play a high level football. So I had to make sure that coaching was quality, and then the rest was history.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you talk a little bit about that, Coach Adams, Blue Adams, and all of that, the DB room and the coaching you're getting. Speak to it a little bit.
I mean, I think Coach Blue Adams is a great coach. You know, he make you play hard and practice hard. I mean, practice so hard that when you go to games, it's really easy. Like they say make practice harder than the games, and he makes sure that he do that. So I think as in a DB group, I feel like everybody support each other, everybody push each other during practice, which is good because we get to the game. You know, the guy on the other sideline got the same mentality as you. He doesn't take but nothing else but to win his one-on-one. So that's lovely. I think he brought a great mentality around the corners.
Who do you mold your game after? Any great defensive back, you know, as you're playing for the green and white, you got some greats, you know, in that secondary, especially in the room as you see every day on the wall. But you know, who's a guy currently playing that you mimicked your game after, you want to kind of mold after?
I mean, I think the best one is Patrick Sutton. I think everybody trying to play like him, but. If you ask me from before, like I think Patrick Peterson, that's really the one that I really trying to play like. But that's pretty much it right now. Like most of the guys in the league my age, so I ain't really trying to. I ain't really trying to look up to them. But
that's true. The competition, right?
It's competition.
Hey, Coach, what did you like best about him when you looked at his tape and looked at him playing as a high school player and as a UConn player?
Yeah, a few things stood out. One, length. We wanted to get taller at corner, and the playing experience of, you know, been in big games and that kind of thing. But you have length at corner. It's tougher. Just, you know, body surface. Let's face it, contested passes and things like that. Still got to be able to move their feet and run. The physicality, the length that stood out and the reality they'd been playing at UConn for a while. We had some insider information at UConn. We know people too who had either were on staff or at coach there, and also we have some younger DBs. We wanted to have some older guys that have experience, but also the example of being a graduate already, allow the younger DBs to continue to develop as they're watching older guys do it at a high level.
Coach, you mentioned younger guys, so you got Aiden West under you. You got some other younger guys that are not potentially obviously redshirted, but like talk about those guys and kind of give a glimpse to Spartan Nation in the future that what we have in the defensive room.
Oh, I mean, those guys, they're the future, like he said. Y'all should be happy for the next few years. They be working hard every day. I mean, every day, like you said, Aiden West, he be getting better. Like he be playing now a little bit more than he was at the beginning of the year. And every week you just see the growth in him. So which is very nice. And then for the other guys, they're gonna pick it up. They're gonna get there. They be having that little fight and everything. Everybody got a little fight, but when they're gonna get that stuff going, I think as a group in general, it's gonna have a nice little depth in general as a class.
Absolutely.
Nice to have a 6'2" corner. You can't coach height, and so he starts as 6'2" and is a good player. That helps a lot, doesn't it, Coach?
Yeah. And we've started to move him around a little bit too, not just sitting on the outside playing a little bit of nickel, but again, when receivers get smaller the further they go down the field, and the same on the DB side, that length continues to show up not just on the short range throws, the deeper throws, and Malcolm's got that body frame and things and contesting and really the last couple of weeks almost haven't gotten challenged all that much being on the outside the way the guy's been playing.
They've been staying away from him.
Yeah, in ways you just look at the stats and who's gotten targeted and things. It's gone down the last couple of weeks.
That's good to know. Wherever Malcolm is, we don't have to worry about that. Number one, he's good. Number two, no one wants to go over there because they'll be covered like a blanket.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That's good stuff. How do you feel about this Iowa game coming up, Malcolm?
Oh, I feel confident. You still got something to play for. At the end of the day, like I said, the season didn't go as what we wanted, but you can't just quit. You can't just quit when shit go wrong. It's always about responding in life. Everything nothing's gonna go the way you want every time, but people always gonna respect you about how you finish stuff. People always gonna remember the last stuff that you did. So if you finish with a loss, the last thing they're gonna remember is a loss. If you finish with a win and that you fought hard, at least even though stuff didn't happen and we didn't get the win that they wanted, they're gonna remember that these guys, they don't just quit to quit. At least they fight even though stuff go bad. People quit, people redshirt, people get injured, don't matter. There's still some fighters on that team because that's what we do.
There's a lot of that's great statement.
Look at that.
There's a lot of love for the team in this Spartan community, no matter how the season ends up. But if it ends up with 2 wins, one over Iowa out there and one over Maryland right downtown Detroit at Ford Field, that will leave a good taste in everybody's mouth. Won't it, Otis and Coach?
Absolutely.
No question.
I mean, I kind of want to get to peek behind, take the pads off and let's get to know you, man. Right? You already graduated.
Yes, sir.
And what are you doing now to obviously get a post-grad, degree? And then what do you want to do, obviously, when we hang the cleats up? Because that's very important.
I mean, in general, I just want to be. I mean, I know everybody be saying that, but real estate is really my stuff right now.
Okay.
Yeah, or even stock. I like.
Stock.
See, I like stock. I be trying to learn.
Got a couple people in here, I think.
Yeah, I be trying to learn stock, man. It be stressful, man. You be seeing the stuff, man. You don't know when to hold and all that, but pretty much just learning everything right now. Learning everything. I like language too. Trying to learn that, but. If you ask me, really trying to make house and property. Yeah, that's really what I want to do.
That's awesome. Where did that love come from, though?
Oh, my mom.
Your mom,
because I was born in Africa.
Gotcha.
So we got a couple of houses in Africa. So so every year she go back in Africa to make sure the houses are going on, people rent. You know how it be to be a landlord. You got to go back and make sure everything's all right. So seeing my mom go back and all that, always on the phone, making sure everything.
That's good.
So people get in touch with you and say, "Wait a minute, the water's not running right," or something.
Exactly. I got to make sure everything's all right. So hearing my mom wake up in the morning, what? So now I understood it was a grind. So I fell in love with that grind. And,
Good for you. Well, this guy's got a great smile, doesn't he, folks? Those of you who are here, that's not going to hurt him at all. That and 6'2" and being able to play. We appreciate you being here, Malcolm.
Yes, sir.
Good luck in Iowa City
thank
and
you,
at Ford Field.
Thank you.
Thanks for being a Spartan.
You,
Hey, Spartan fans, Abbott and the Big Ten are back with the We Give Blood Drive. Show up to donate blood to help your school win $1 million for student and community health. Score a limited edition Michigan State tee and save lives. Go to big10.org/Abbott to
to get into the game. We are live with the head coach of the Spartans, Jonathan Smith. Tonight's show presented by Auto Owners Insurance. This is the Jonathan Smith Radio Show.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Spartans, SeatGeek.
There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. It starts with our team and people like you. University of Michigan Health Sparrow is hiring for a wide variety of roles at all experience levels. Unlock your potential and discover a fulfilling career at one of our award-winning hospitals and health centers. We make a difference every day, together. Join us at careers.uofmhealthsparrow.org.
Whoa, boss, how did that happen?
Mind your business.
I mean, how did a forklift make a shish kebab out of our company truck?
I said mind your business, Billy. It's why we have auto owners. We work with an independent agent to customize our policies. So when the unexpected happens, we know we're covered. Because unlike you, minding our business is their business.
Oh, that's simply human sense.
Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you.
You didn't do this, did you, boss?
Mind your business, Billy.
Touchdown!
From the biggest of the big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go. Go!
Run, James!
No, first base!
Go, go, go! Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
We are back with more Spartan football talk on the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Even Sparty knows everybody needs a timeout every now and then, so why not take yours at the beach? Myrtle Beach is home to 60 miles of warm, sandy beaches, over 2,000 restaurants, and much more. Enter now for your chance to win your very own beach break getaway, compliments of Visit Myrtle Beach. Go to visitmyrtlebeach.com/MSU to enter. Your ultimate beach break is just a click away. Nice to have you with us here at One North Kitchen and Bar, East Lansing. We have all the Spartan Radio Coaches shows here. One North Kitchen and Bar makes good times great, and it would certainly be a good time to, upset Iowa in Iowa City this weekend. They've got to be slightly favored. They played well against some very good teams, but last year in East Lansing, they were on the short end of it by 12. You know this team. You know their strengths. Other than the new quarterback, what's your scouting report on them, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, well-rounded. They can beat you in a lot of different ways. You mentioned the new quarterback. He can run. He's an experienced player. He's played a lot of football, a lot of games, and so you can see him operating that offense, getting them in the right plays. Obviously, being a part of their run game, which is really, really efficient. They're about running the ball. And so we got to do a great job of tackling the line of scrimmage, that kind of thing. Defensively, top 10 in the country, create havoc from different ways, from the line of scrimmage all the way back in the secondary. And again, those things working together for them. And then you throw in the home crowd. This is going to be a hostile place, crowd noise, communication. But really, sometimes not talked about enough. Their special teams are good. They got the #1 punt returner in the country. This guy scored a couple of times on punt return. He scored on kickoff return. He plays a little receiver for them. And so that part of the game, too, we got to be on it because they're really good in all three phases.
Caden Weegan is his name.
Yeah.
He had a 50-yard punt return and a 100-yard kickoff return. He has been maybe the best since Cooper DeJean or Tim Dwight out there. They seem to find some speedy kids in Iowa.
Yeah, I mean, George, I think it was 2 years ago when we were there. I haven't heard Kenneth Stadium that loud because that was the game-changing players when Cooper took to the house on punt return. This is the kid, obviously, who replaced them, and they seem to find Iowa kids and some Iowa stud kids too. So That's one thing about Iowa offense that I know of, speaking from a defensive perspective. They always have a great tight end, and their offensive linemen are just gritty. And it's 4 quarters. I had the privilege of going overtime, and then obviously I knocked myself out on a concussion, but it is what it is. But those guys are constantly like every play. It's every play. They're just trying to knock you down and kind of wear you down.
They've developed it over time, and that line, the culture, call it the development. Those linemen gone through multiple years in that scheme and getting a chance to take great pride in it. I think about the return game of the returner, really good player, right? Can make you miss those type of things. But the other 10, what those guys are doing, setting up, there's a deep belief. You can see it every time they're putting the ball to 21. There's a belief that he could go, and so those guys are blocking for him in the scheme of it. There's momentum they've created with their special teams in games that have changed games.
Talk about their tight end. He is from Hudsonville, Michigan. He is 6'4" and 250. His name is Hayden Large. Probably a good description.
He's been eating that ice cream for sure. Large.
By the way, the Hawkeyes are one of the few teams in the country, and we would love to have had that happen up here at East Lansing, to start the same 5 guys on the offensive line each and every week this season. And their center, Logan Jones, is exceptionally good, but he's not the only one. So they're tough to deal with that way. And on defense, they spread the tackles around. They don't, as we said earlier, they don't have anybody with anywhere near as many tackles as some of the leading Spartan tacklers, but they do spread it around. They play for Phil Parker, who was an all Big Ten pick here under George Perlis. And there been talk about him being a head coach for the longest time, him going to another school for the longest time. I think he's very comfortable there, and he's been so productive. Why would you want to move?
Yeah, he's going on a couple decades of doing it, doing defense over there, and obviously they having success with that defensive side. You think about those stats too, like when they don't have a guy near maybe some of the individual tackles, leads. Well, that's playing great team defense when everybody's doing their role in their spot, and when the ball's coming to that particular player, that he's been making the play, and that shows up on tape as you guys you watch them for 10 games now.
You're right. They do spread it around. And it seems like years ago, the Iowa football teams were heavily influenced by kids from elsewhere. But these days, there are more kids from Iowa playing football. And those big offensive linemen, one's from Cedar Rapids, another's from Valley High in Des Moines. They got good homegrown kids that they can go after. It makes it a lot easier to have a good football team.
Yeah, I mean,
that's like when you recruit. Excuse me. When you recruit in Michigan, first of all, you have an advantage because they know of your team, and you can get out. You can go see them more often. Yeah, and it helps, doesn't it? To have good players around.
You think about the amount of time Coach Ferentz been there, the continuity, the consistency of the approach that he's had. He's been able to build this thing to being really good year in and year out. And so then if I'm a high school player or that age, I've probably grown up watching this thing, and then the in-state part of that. So it all compounds on it. And that's, again, why Coach Ferentz won the most games in the Big Ten in the history of the conference.
Let's see. He's in his 27th year. He's the dean of Division I coaches, 4-time Big Ten Coach of the Year, 2002 National Coach of the Year, and he's won 60% of his games. And it's so tough to win football games. Mark D'Antonio talked about that, and as he's won more than anybody else here. To win one football game, I mean, there's so much you have to do right, and then some of it's just totally out of your control.
Yeah, you think about how it is, that adage that it is hard to win, and it's almost easy to lose, right? One mistake, we're talking about a 7-yard, 5-yard play on one play. It's easy to lose, and so it is hard to win. And everything matters, all 3 phases. You got to catch a break once in a while. The ball needs to bounce your way. A lot goes into it. But Iowa's sitting there 6-4 this year. They've had some tough breaks and tough calls not go their way, and found a way to win a couple tight games too.
I watched the end of their Oregon game, and they had a great drive to take the lead with like a minute and a half left in terrible weather. How do you think? Oh, I guess they're used to a lot of rain in Oregon because those guys got close enough.
Well, they got to
kick a field goal. You know about that, Coach? That rain didn't seem to bother them, did it?
No,
probably didn't bother you when you were at Oregon State.
No, especially this turf now is totally
is
different in regards to the grass. Back to that game, though, yeah, they take the lead. We've experienced the same thing. Iowa takes the lead under 2 minutes, and then Oregon goes down there. And again, it comes down to a field goal kick as time's about to expire. And so back to this idea, it's really hard to win, easy to lose. These things can come down to just one play.
Yeah, Coach. How are you preparing for the physicality? Because we all know. I mean, we played them last year. I mean, they're tough, right?
Yeah.
But we obviously have to do the same, match physicality for physicality. But how have you been prepping for, obviously this week with the team on the physicality?
Yeah, we talked about it, pointed out on tape, and then you go try to recreate it in practice, right? Yeah, we are this is game 11, so we're not practicing the same amount of length that we were in week 1, just on body blows and things, but we're definitely still trying to make it practice pretty physical, knowing it's going to be that type of game. And it's, there's some similar teams in the league that you got to be ready to bow up on Saturday on the physical side of things. And so we're doing everything we can to have these guys ready for that intensity, the physicality come Saturday.
Well, it wasn't just Jonathan Kim. Last year's numbers are very impressive. The Spartans rushed for a season-high 212 yards. They outgained Iowa 468 to 283, had the ball for almost 40 minutes to Iowa's 20 minutes, and a lot of good things happened and could happen again on Saturday. We're thinking they will. So great to have all of you here. Back with more with Coach Smith in just a moment on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Owners make sense for you.
There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. It starts with our team and people like you. University of Michigan Health Sparrow is hiring for a wide variety of roles at all experience levels. Unlock your potential and discover a fulfilling career at one of our award-winning hospitals and health centers. We make a difference every day, together. Join us at careers.uofmhealthsparrow.org.
Nick Marsh at the 10-yard line of Maryland, angles to the right pylon. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, MSU.
The Spartan football team returns to Ford Field in Detroit to wrap up the regular season against the Maryland Terrapins. Make it a part of your Thanksgiving weekend on Saturday, November 29th. Tickets are on sale now. Go to Ticketmaster.com to order your tickets today.
Farm Bureau Insurance invites you inside the green for an exclusive dinner with basketball coach Tom Izzo. This unique experience includes a private dinner for one winner and 3 guests with Coach Izzo. The winner also receives a private tour of the Breslin Center, an autographed basketball from Coach, tickets to a future home game, and more. For more details and to register, visit InsideTheGreenSweeps.com. Farm Bureau Insurance, proud sponsor of Michigan State Athletics.
Thanks for joining us and the Spartan fans here at One North for the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. You want to join us, by the way, for the Michigan Sports Brief every weekday on all of our Spartan Sports Network affiliates, presented by Frankenmuth Insurance. Find a local independent agent near you by visiting www.fmins.com. And one more reminder, when you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local teams across the Midwest, from big league stadiums to the neighborhood ball field. Learn more at Meijer.com/community. Well, we read about what happened last year when the Spartans met physicality with physicality against Iowa. That's probably the key to the game this year, isn't it?
Yeah, the physicality part, you think about the line of scrimmage. I think about special teams. Last year is a huge impactor with Jonathan Kim coming into this game. These guys on the return side, best in the country. Special teams could be a big part. Who makes the play to kind of change the game in that thing?
Well, you have one of the great punters in America.
Yeah.
In Ryan Eckley. And I don't have a problem with our return game either, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's not wear out Eckley. We can punt just a couple of times, not like nine.
Thank you, Coach. I'm looking forward to flying out to Iowa City with you and the team. Otis, you're flying with us, right?
Yeah.
All right. Good luck to the Spartans at Iowa City. Thanks to everybody for their support all season long. And I want to also thank our engineer, Chris Ordaway, Yahir Mendoza, our in-studio producer. Our video stream producer is Gage Dansby.
You've been listening to The Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense. The Jonathan Smith Show is also brought to you by MSU FCU. Spartan fans dream big with MSU Federal Credit Union. Meyer, supporting hundreds of sports teams across the Midwest. Coors Light, choose chill. Dean Trailways, the official ground transportation provider of Spartans Athletics and Michigan's premier motor coach company. Make Dean Trailways your favorite ride. One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. And Alumni Hall, your ultimate Spartan shopping experience. The Jonathan Smith Show has been a presentation of Playfly Sports in partnership with Michigan State Athletics. All rights reserved. Join us next time on this network station for all of the action of Michigan State Spartan football, a presentation of the Spartan Media Network.